Welcome back to another episode of the Finance Bible podcast. Zeke here.
And your co-host, Oscar. But before we get into it, please note that nothing in this podcast should ever be considered as personal financial advice.
Of course, if that is what you are seeking, reach out, we'll get you in touch with the correct professionals, get the job done properly.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's get into it. Yeah, that is true. If you're going into a business and they're in the dinosaur age and they're still, everything's paper only, no digital, who was it? I'm trying to think. There was a
There was a company, was it?
Yeah, there was a huge company, like international company, one of the biggest. Like everyone will know, what was it? And the bloke who was running it, up until literally like a couple of years ago, still would only communicate by fax.
Really?
Yeah. If you wanted anything from him, it was fax, and that's it. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think what it was now. Yeah, if you're stuck in a company like that, then that's a bit of chaos.
That's trouble. Especially if you're if you're hired as a marketing consultant there or in the marketing team, like you're trying to, like you're younger, so you know what's good and what needs to work, but your boss is just not allowing it. So it's like, well, you're not at the right place, because if you're not getting heard or listened and getting what you're paid to do and they're not listening to you, what's the point? No point at all.
Yeah, and how's a business going to progress, and how are you as an employee going to progress in that sort of
You just won't.
situation? Emails now and Calendly even, or having communication things like Skype and Slack, or even just Google Chat or
Google Chat. I did like
WhatsApp.
Google Chat.
Like things like that are literally essential to business now. Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook, Instagram, especially for running ads, that is like the main. Even TikTok for some, depending what your business is.
Yeah, a lot of people still don't even have websites, and it's like...
Yeah, the websites is a big factor. And even if you do have a website, but it's so dated, you've got to update it, because your competitors are getting new modern websites with 20, 30 plus different pages, which just reeks SEO.
Yeah.
So if people are trying to, let's just type in for us, for example, like property investment into Google, and your website's not up to date, well, then your name's not going to pop up in the first 50.
Down.
Yeah, 50 searches not going to pop up.
Yeah, and then you've got with that, we're at the age now in the world where everyone just looks at everything. If you do any form of business, I guarantee you, if a client's going to come on board, they're looking you up. They're looking at what you've got available, what resources you've got.
Looking at your LinkedIn to see how long you've been in the role for.
What your competitors have. And if they go on one website and go, oh, wow, this is a nice website, and they go on yours and they go, what the heck? Or you don't have one? Or even just as simple as they're trying to get in touch with you and you don't have a team, or, it takes you 5 days to get back through email, or imagine the limitation if they're trying to get in touch and you say, fax only. I've never sent a fax. I don't even know.
No, I don't even know that.
But that's just evolve with the times. It's not hard.
It's not hard. And if you don't know where to start, I'm sure you've got a young family member or a niece, nephew, grandkids, or even friends who you can just ask, because they're on their phone literally 23 to 24 hours a day. Non-stop. Just scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, just everything. And they'd be getting thousands of ads served to them every day as well.
Yeah.
Without them even realizing.
So far, if you're an employee in a company and any of these make sense and you're going, wow, I might not be where I want to be, or you're going for a job and the interview process is bad, or you might be asking these questions in the interview,
Probably good to ask these questions.
How have you adapted in the last, since COVID? What's changed in the business? And they're going to love you asking that question, by the way.
You'd love getting asked that, wouldn't you?
If I'm a business owner and if I'm interviewing someone and they hit me up with, oh, mate, how has your business adapted through COVID and since what
kind of flip it onto you?
Have you implemented? Then you're going to be like, wow, this person's actually
switched
got
on.
a brain.
Let's go.
They're not just here for the robotic interview process. They're actually thinking and asking questions. That's another thing. Back to the interview. Sorry to go back. When they ask you if you have any questions, and this is just a tip for interview process, it shouldn't even be in this podcast. But when they ask you, do you have any questions? Don't just go, oh no, or when will I hear back?
Always have a couple of questions. What's the pay is the worst one.
Yeah, just hit them up with just simple questions that you actually would know or that would benefit you in making decisions of if you want to work there or that even might give you an upper hand in the thing. For example, asking about what adaptive changes have had to make since COVID or during COVID, or it's recent enough. You can even just ask, how did you guys go during COVID? You know, was there a downturn? What's happened with the staff, or like just something that makes you like stand out from the rest, or seem to care about the
Because yeah, a lot
business.
of other applicants will probably just ask for the pay, work hours, and then or say no, no
Yeah,
other questions.
in about 60 interviews, I've had zero people ask anything about the actual business.
Mm,
That's shocking. It's crazy.
it's not good.
But yeah, other red flags. Well, I mean, we've talked about management in terms of communication, but I want to talk about management in terms of actual capability of getting the job done. But if you find yourself always having to do the work for the manager or explain to the manager what's going on or something like that, it's probably a clear indication that they should not be in that position. Or even if you're let's just say let's go more a physical job.
Mm,
Like you might be in the trades, you might be in the mines, you might be even like a PT or something, or and one of the you're an employee, you're dealing with a client or you're dealing with a job or you're dealing with a task, and there's a complication. Like if it's physical, it might be that the angle of something's not going to work due to some kind of reason, or it might be that if you dig out this certain thing, then it's going to cause issues over here because the pressure will change or whatever. Or even in teaching, it might be that you need to explain something a certain way to help get the point across because a class aren't understanding the way you're doing it. You need to do it another way, but you've obviously got to ask about changing it and how you're going to get away with it. And all of these things, you're doing them and talking to the manager about them, they're just kind of dumbfounded, like,
mm.
what are you saying or what do you mean or whatever, and they just give you like a cookie cutter answer. At that point in time, I'd be getting out of there straight away. I bet, nah, this person should not be doing what they're doing. If they're in that position, then what hope do I have?
Literally.
But if you actually, before I go on to that, do you have any more red flags to bring up?
No, I think I jotted them all down. Like micromanaging,
Oh,
that's a big
micromanaging.
one. That's probably the last one I want to throw out.
Yes, let's talk about micromanaging.
Micromanaging is an absolute joke. If you're getting micromanaged in any workplace or any job you've had, that is the ultimate toxic red flag, I think. Like if you get micromanaged, leave. We've been in the workplace and the director's actually told someone he's micromanaging them. Like he's actually said to them, I'm micromanaging you on Monday going forward. And he brings out a book and says the micromanaging book. It's funny looking back, but geez, get out of there. You can't be micromanaged. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah, and it's a hard one as well because there's some like micromanagement in some roles is like semi acceptable, but it needs to be like to an extent, right? So micromanagement in like let's just say a micromanagement call center,
Mm,
they are micromanagement. Like
they kind of
everything,
need to.
yeah, everything is done so like bang, bang, bang that the micromanagement there is sort of acceptable because it is actually statistical and numbers based and it makes sense. Like you got to do this, you got to do that.
Mm.
But where it becomes unacceptable there is if you're 30 seconds or 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes delayed on something and then you're getting warnings about it. That's when micromanagement there is not acceptable. The micromanagement that we're talking about is more just in your role that's
Like
more,
a salary sales job.
yeah, you got
Like
sales
you're on
jobs,
your
you
own
got
kind of.
just any other job where it's not like the call center is the exception. There's probably other jobs like it where it's so data driven that it has to be micromanaged. But we're talking roles that are more like, maybe even just admin.
Mm.
You just got a few emails to get through. You got to do this, got to do that. You got to take calls, and your boss or your manager or someone is coming over. And, oh, what have you got done today? What emails have you
But
sent?
doing that
Have you?
every couple hours.
Yeah, have you? What are you working on? What's going on
What
here?
are you working on?
Yeah, what? Oh, what's that phone call about? Like,
Yeah, who's
what are you
speaking
doing?
to?
Yeah, who are you speaking to? Like things like that is when it's out of hand, and that's proper micromanagement. And the minute that starts happening, get out of there because that's not okay.
It's not okay.
Yeah. Uh, Such a funny one to talk about.
Such a strange concept that it's actually a thing in today's day and age.
It is. It's weird.
It's just bizarre, especially as a manager or a business owner, like doing that to a staff member, like you just feel, I'd feel awkward and embarrassed. Slash, you don't really want to know.
Yeah.
Like you put your trust in them to do the job. You don't need to find out what's happening every hour.
Yeah. If they're getting the job done, they're getting the job done.
Yeah, and if they're not getting the job done, you'll find out sooner rather than later with the results.
Yeah, and you can manage in a way that's still managing, but it's just not so micro. Like,
Another one's like getting asked to after every single day before you go home to write a recap of what you've completed throughout the day and send it to the
yeah,
manager.
places still do that.
Yeah. So today, Tuesday the 14th, I completed dot 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 dot.
Yeah,
Tomorrow I will do dot 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 dot. It's like what?
yeah, that's weird.
What?
Unless it's something you're doing for yourself in terms of so you know what you've done and what you need to do, like kind of keeping a checklist.
Like you and
Um,
I, we don't micromanage each other, but we check in with each other quite a bit. It's different though because we're both running the same business. But
yeah,
if we had staff members, we wouldn't be micromanaging them.
yeah, and micromanage in a way where you don't micromanage actively. Like
Yeah,
it's not hard as a company to set up a meeting to talk about what's being done. Like have a meeting with a checklist of points that need to get done. Hey guys, we've got to work on this. Where's this up to?
mm.
How are we going on this?
Yeah. What's the
Who's taking
updates?
care of it and stuff like that. Sort of like a pipeline process.
Pipeline's great.
Yeah,
Great
but
meetings.
it's yeah. Micromanaging is so unnecessary. And if that's happening, is it from your perspective as an employee? You also need to kind of go, well, is this guy or chick or whatever manager just a twat and like rude and like obnoxious, or do they actually just think I'm hopeless?
Yeah, and then think about it. Like if you're not getting valued and if people don't respect you and think you're actually good at your job, well, then that's another good indicator just to jump ship and leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what's the point of being there if no one respects you?
Yeah, and then if we're done with points now of red flags, which is plenty of, which we just discovered. How do you get out
Plenty.
of that? How do you get out of that situation?
Well, I think you've just got to make the leap and just decide that you're better than that. You deserve more. You deserve respect. A place which actually doesn't micromanage you. A place which actually respects and takes your work to the highest point.
Yeah, or help you get to your goals, or
Yeah, somewhere
where
which can
there's not
actually give you
bickering.
guidance and even like mentorship. Because at the end of the day, if you're working in a certain industry because you love that industry, and one day you may want to have your own company in that industry. So if a manager in that job can help you get to where you want to be at the end of the day, that's a lot different to a manager who's checking in 10 times a day what you're doing and not going to help you overall.
Yeah, you literally need to just go and turn your workplace from a negative to a positive, as
Hmm.
Mr. Worldwide would say.
There you go, your favourite.
Um, quick stat to throw out there, actually,
Oh,
just on taking that risk, getting out of there, going and doing whatever you want, uh, whether it be starting your own company or working for a different company, changing industries while you've got a family. You're worried, you got to take care of this, you got to take care of that. One of the, as Ali G says,
LEG.
one of the greatest chefs in the world,
Yeah.
Colonel himself.
Mm.
How many times do you think his recipe got turned down before he created Kentucky?
50.
I learned from Pitbull the other day, 1,007.
Really?
It took 1,007 no's for him to finally get authorized.
And now look,
And now look. Yeah, so
insane.
just take a risk.
So many good stories out there like that.
That's crazy,
I
isn't it?
love those stories.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah,
1,007
1,007.
no's. Getting told no once hurts.
Yeah, I've run
1,007?
1,007 times, or
Yeah,
1,006 times.
yeah, literally. So, yeah, just take a risk. Go,
Yeah, you got to take a risk. Like at the time, a bit scary, jumping ship and leaving your job, but guarantee the day you do it, you will feel so light and fresh. Like I still remember the first day we did it, and the morning of it was just like like a bit scary, don't have a job, or maybe find a job while you're thinking about quitting, so you can move straight away. But
Yeah, if you're in a position where you've got a family, like
yeah,
taking
it's
that
very
risk
different.
is a risk. Or if you've got a
Very
mortgage and
different.
this and that and the other.
But you just, get job interviews when you're at home or on the weekends. If you're still in a role you don't want to be in right
Yeah,
now.
or call in sick while you do the interview or
Yeah, just
something. You
just do
might have to
something.
screw the employer a little bit to get it done. By screw the employer, I mean stuff them over.
Oh,
Not literally.
right. It's going to say, what are you on about?
No. But yeah, no, just take that risk. The biggest risk you ever take is the one you don't take.
No, that's
So
my favorite quote.
we'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Go back to the risk taking podcast. Have a listen to
Put
that.
that in the
We
show
did that
notes.
a while ago, and yeah,
And have a good morning, afternoon, or night.
we'll catch you all next time. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
We hope you enjoyed the episode. As always, you know exactly what to do.
Hit that follow button, subscribe, whatever platform you listen to this podcast on. Also share it to friends, families, co-workers, whoever you think may benefit from it. But unfortunately, it's the end, and we'll see you next week.